Assalamu alaikum. What's up? This is Muhammad Ali, and today we will be doing some extra practice on drawing the shear force and bending moment diagram. And this is the load condition which is given to us. We have to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this case. Now it's very easy to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this, and we will be utilizing all the methods which we have studied in order to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, like we have studied the method of equation. So first of all, we will draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for method of equation, and then we will do the graphical method as well to find out the shear force and bending moment diagram. And we know that as our first step to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram is to find out the support reactions. And we know that there are two supports here. You can see one is pinch support and other is the roller support. If we will draw the free body diagram of this case, it will look like this. Instead of hinge support, we have to provide the two reactions. One will be vertical, and we will be naming this as VA because this is vertical force and it is existing at A point, and other will be horizontal. So this will be HA. Other force is at C point because we have to replace the roller support with unknown support reaction, which we will be naming as VC. And for the loading condition, we have this uniformly distributed load from A to B, which is having the intensity of 20 kilonewton per meter. And then we have a point load as well at D point, which is having the total magnitude of 30 kilonewton. So we have to, this is our free body diagram. We have to find out the values of HA, VA and VC. Now in order to find out these values, it's quite simple. We have to apply the conditions of equilibrium. And we know that the first condition of equilibrium is sum of all forces in x direction is equals to 0. And because there is no any force in the x direction, so HA will be equal to 0. We have only this HA force in the horizontal direction, so this will be equal to 0. Other than that, we have sum of all forces in y direction is equals to 0. This is the second condition of equilibrium. And when we will apply the second condition of equilibrium, we have these two forces in positive y direction and these red forces, external loadings, in the downward direction. So by sign convention, we know that the upward forces are considered as positive and downward forces are considered as negative. So this will be positive VA, then minus 20 into 5, because 5 is the horizontal distance. As you can see, this is 5 meters, this is also 5 meters, and this is 4 meters. So this will be 5 into 20 into 5, and then we have plus VC and then minus 30. This all equals to 0. So from there we can get an equation in which VA plus VC is equals to, this will be 20 into 500 and 130. So we will get 130 here. This is our equation number 1. Now applying the third condition of equilibrium, which is sum of all moments about any point is equals to 0, and in this case we are taking A point as our point at which we are going to find out the moment. So if this is the A point, you can see that this is the A point. We have to find out the moment, all these forces about A point. Now because HA and VA both are crossing at A point, so HA and VA will not generate any moment at A point, but this 20 kilonewton meter will generate the moment at A point, and the moment generated by this 20 kilonewton meter will be the total magnitude of this 20 kilonewton per meter multiplied by the moment arm, and total magnitude generated by this load, uniformly distributed load, is 20 multiplied by 5. So this is the magnitude of this total uniformly distributed load. We have to multiply this by moment arm, and we know that because this is a uniformly distributed load, so uniformly distributed load acts at its center of gravity, and the center of gravity of this rectangular load is at exactly at its center. So this will be making a distance of 2.5 meter from this side and 2.5 meter from this side. So this is to be multiplied by 2.5, and obviously this will be making a clockwise moment at A point. You can imagine that this will make a clockwise moment at A point. So this will be a clockwise moment, and then this VC force is to be also multiplied by the moment arm, and the moment arm in this case will be 5 plus 5 is equals to 10. So this will be Vc multiplied by 10, and this will be anti-clockwise moment. Other than that, we have this 30 kilonewton force, and this will generate the clockwise moment, which is equal to plus 30 into 14, and this will be also clockwise moment, and this all is equals to 0. And when we will be solving that, so this will be 20 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 2.5, this will be 250, and this will be positive because this is clockwise. This will be minus 10 Vc, and then this will be plus 420. This all is equals to 0. So Vc we can get from this, Vc is equals to 67 kilonewtons. So we got the value of Vc, and if we will put the value of Vc in our equation number 1, so Va will be equal to 130 minus 67. So Va will be equal to 63 kilonewtons. So in this way we got the values of support reactions. Alright, so once we know the support reactions, now we can easily find out the shear force and bending moment diagram. So in order to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, first of all, we are doing this with the method of equation. In order to do this, in order to find out the shear force and bending moment diagram with the method of equation, we have to divide this beam into different regions, and we have to divide this in such a way that for each region we can use one equation that will be representative of that region. And in order to do that, we have to divide this in such a way that there are no any discontinuities in the loading condition of these regions. Now obviously you can see that from A to B we have no any discontinuity in the region. So we consider this A to B is our one region, and from B to C we can also see that there is no any discontinuity in the region. So we will call that B to C as our second region, and from C to D we can see that because there is no any discontinuity in the loading, so we will call that as another region. So we will be dividing this into three regions: A, B, B, C, and C, D. And based upon the region, we have to develop the equations as well. Now, in order to develop the equations, we have to cut a section. So I'm cutting this section, and I call this is AA. And I have to cut another section as well for BC, and I call this as BB section. And we are cutting this in CD as well, and we are calling this as CC. Once we are done with the locations of the sections, we have to assign the distances for that. Now just for your understanding, I'm taking all the distances from the left side, because normally what we do, we take the section which is less laborious in terms of calculation, but we will be doing this from the left hand side just for your understanding that whether we are getting the same answer or not. So I will be taking all the distances from the left hand side. So in order to do that, I'm assuming that from this A to this section AA, from left hand side the distance is x1, and from A point to this BB section we have the another distance which is x2, and for the CC section from left hand side we have another distance which is x3. So these are the three different distances. Now keep in mind that these three distances are valid for their particular region, their specific region. They are not valid for other regions. Now let's find out the equations of shear force and bending moment diagram for all these three sections. First of all, we will be doing section AA. We are doing section AA, and the equation which we will be get from section AA, this will be valid for the value of x1 which is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 5. Okay, so let's draw the equation for that. And for the shear force diagram, we will have the equation. If we will consider all the forces which are to the left of that particular section, we can see that there is one concentrated force which is 63 kilonewton. So we will write 63, which is in upward direction, and we know that from the sign convention that upward direction forces for the left of the section are considered to be generating the positive shear. So this will be positive 63, and then we have to consider this much amount of force. As you can see, the amount of force which is to the left of this AA section, the amount of this uniformly distributed load which is to the left of this section, and the amount of uniformly distributed load which is to the left of this section will be the intensity of that load multiplied by x1 distance, because x1 distance is the distance from the left point, and this will be minus, because this is downward direction, this is a downward force, and downward forces are considered as negative in the left portion when we talk about the shear forces. So this will be 63 minus 20 into x1. So this is our equation for the shear force diagram for the region AB, which is valid for the value of x1 which is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 5. And for the bending moment diagram, we will have to calculate all the bending moments being generated by the forces which are to the left of this section. And you can see that there are basically two forces. One is 63 kilonewton, which is a point load, and the bending moment generated by this point load will be 63 multiplied by the moment arm. 63 is the magnitude of the force, and x1, as you can see, x1 is the distance from the point of application of the force to the point at which we are calculating the moment. And so this should be multiplied by 63 should be multiplied by x1. So this will be 63 x1. This is the moment generated by 63 force, and this will be, you can see, this will be a clockwise moment, and from the sign convention we know that for the left of the section the clockwise moments are considered to be generating the positive bending moment. So this will be positive, and then we will have to calculate the moment generated by this uniformly distributed load. And in order to calculate the moment generated by this uniformly distributed load, the total magnitude of the load to the left of this section, this will be 20 into x1. 20 into x1 is the total force which is to the left of this section. So this is the total force. You can see this is the total force to the left of this section. This is 20 multiplied by x1. Now this will act exactly at the center. And if we talk about this exactly at the center, so this will be half of x1. You can see this should act at a distance of half of x1 from AA section. So we have to multiply this by x1 by 2. We have to multiply this by x1 by 2, and obviously this will also generate the anti-clockwise moment about AA section. So this anti-clockwise moment about AA section is considered to be negative, so we have considered this as negative. So the final equation which we will get for this case, this 2 will be multiplied here, this will be 10, so this will be 63 x1 minus 10 x1 square. So this is our final equation which we got for our bending moment diagram for the region A to B. And for the section BB, let's talk about the section BB. This is valid for the region for the value of x1 which is greater than equal to 5 and less than equal to 10, because the BB is this much amount of distance. And for the let's talk about their equations. For the shear force diagram, you can see that for the shear force diagram, now we are considering this BB section. Whatever forces are to the left of this BB section, we have to consider those forces. And to the left of this section, you can see we have 63 kilonewton force, which is a point load, and a uniformly distributed load of 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so shear force diagram for this case will be 63 positive, because this is in upward direction, and for the left section, the upward directed forces are considered to be generating the positive shear. So this will be positive 63, then minus this whole uniformly distributed load, as you can see, is to the left of this particular BB section. So we will take the total magnitude generated by this uniformly distributed load. So this will be 20 multiplied by 5 So this will give us the value of minus 37. So this minus 37, which is a constant equation, represents the shear force diagram for the region B to C. And for the bending moment diagram, we have to find out all the bending moment generated by all the forces to the left of this section. So this will be 63. 63 is the concentrated force. This multiplied by x2, because x2 is the distance from A point to this BB region, BB section. So this will be 63 multiplied by x2, and then this will be positive because this is a clockwise moment, and then minus because this uniformly distributed load is downward, and it will generate a counterclockwise moment, and counterclockwise moment are considered to be generating the negative bending moment to the left of the section. So this will be minus. Total magnitude of the load will be 20 kilonewton per meter multiplied by 5. So this is 20 multiplied by 5. Now this is the total magnitude of the load. We have to multiply this by the moment arm. Now you know that this uniformly distributed load will act exactly at the middle. This will be 2.5 meter up to this point, and 2.5 meter up to this point, because it is exactly at the middle. Now we have to find out this distance, the distance from the point of application of the force to the point at which we are calculating the moment. And this distance will be 2.5 plus this distance. You can, if you can find out this distance plus 2.5, or you can also find out that if I will subtract 2.5 from x2, I will get the distance from the point of application of the load to this BB section. So this should be x minus 2.5, x2 specifically minus 2.5. So this is the bending moment equation. We have to basically solve it in order to simplify this. This will be 63 x2 minus 100 x2 minus plus 250. So this should be minus 37 x2 plus 250. So this is our bending moment diagram equation for the section BB. Now let's talk about the section CC. And for the section CC, this is valid for the value of x3. This was x2. x3, which is greater than equal to 10 and less than equal to 14, because this is valid for the region CD, and CD, the x3 value is greater than equal to 10 and less than equal to 14 meters. So for the shear force diagram, again, we can see that all the forces to the left of that section, we have this 63 kilonewton force, which is positive, 63, which is directed upward, and then we have this uniformly distributed load, which is having the total magnitude of 20 into 5, or in other words 20 into 5 is 100, and we have this 67 kilonewton force, which is also towards the upward direction. So this will be 67 positive, and this all will give us the shear force equation for this CC section. So if we will simplify that, this will give us the value of 30. And for the bending moment diagram, we have to find out the bending moment generated by all those forces. And to the left of the section, we have first of all the 63 kilonewton force, and this will generate the bending moment of 63 multiplied by x3. And this will be clockwise, and clockwise are considered as positive. And then we have this uniformly distributed load, which is downward, which is having the total magnitude of 100, because 20 into 5 is equals to 100, and this is acting at a distance of 2.5 meter from this left corner and 2.5 meter from this right corner. So the moment arm generated for this 20 kilonewton per meter uniformly distributed load will be generated by equivalent load, which is exactly at center. So this should be x3, because x3 is the total distance from the left of this member to this CC section. If we will subtract from this x3 this distance, if we will subtract from this x3 this distance, which is equal to 2.5 meter, we will get this distance, which is the moment arm generated for this case. So this will be having minus, because this is a counterclockwise moment, and it is having the magnitude of 20 multiplied by 5, and this is having the moment arm of x3 minus 2.5 meter. Okay, and then last but not the least, we have this force which is equal to 67 kilonewton, and the 67 kilonewton will also generate the clockwise moment, and its magnitude will be 67, and the moment arm will be x3 minus 10, because you can see that this is acting at this distance. So this distance will be x3 is the total distance from this side, minus this 10. If we will subtract 10 from this x3, we will get this distance. So this is 67 multiplied by x3 minus 10. So if we will simplify that, we will get the equation which is 30x3 minus 420. So this is our bending moment diagram equation. Alright, now in order to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, we have the equations which I have summarized for the different regions. As you can see here, for the region AB, we have these equations. We have these equations, and for the region BC, we have these equations, and for the CD, we have these equations. Now, first of all, let's draw the shear force diagram for all the regions of this beam. Now, first of all, we have this equation which is 63 minus 20 x1. This is valid for the value of x1 greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 5, or in other words, this is valid for the region from A to B. Now, if you will observe closely to this equation, this is a linear equation which shows that from A to B, we will have a linear variation of shear force diagram. So at A point, in order for us to determine the value of shear force at A point, we have to put the value of x1 is equals to 0. If we will put the x1 is equals to 0, this 20 into 0 will be 0. So the only value left will be 63. So this tells us at A point, the value of shear force, at A point, the value of shear force is 63, positive 63. And at B point, if we will put the value of x1 is equals to 5, this will be 63 minus 20 into 5. So this will give us the value of minus 37. So this tells us that at B point, we have the value of minus 37 for the shear force diagram. And these two are to be connected by a straight line, because this is a straight line equation. And since x1 is in negative sign, so these two are to be connected by the slope of negative straight line. Okay. Now, for the region BC, we can see that for the region BC, we have this constant shear force which is having the value of minus 37. So from B to C, the shear force will be constant, which will have the value of minus 37. So from B to C, we will have a constant shear force. And from C to D, you can see from C to D, we have the value of positive 30. So from C to D, we will have the value of positive 30. Okay, so this should be here, positive 30. And these vertical discontinuities are to be connected. So this is our shear force diagram for this loading case. This is our shear force diagram. One thing is very interesting to note for this. The interesting thing is that this shear force diagram crosses the 0 point in the region AB. Now this is a very important point, because this crosses at 0 point. This point is known as point of zero shear. Point of zero shear. and at this point we will have maximum bending moment. Why this is true? Because we know that the shear force diagram is the derivative of bending moment diagram, and when derivative is equals to 0 for any curve, this shows that that curve is either maximum or minimum. This we know from the knowledge of mathematics. So at this point there should be the maximum bending moment, but we need to determine the location of this point as well, because we do not know at what distance this point is existing. Once we will be knowing the location of this zero shear, we will be able to know that what will be the value of bending moment at this point, because that will represent the maximum bending moment. So in order to calculate that, we have to equate the equation for this region is equals to 0. If we will equate the equation for the shear force, which is 63 minus 20 x1, if we will equate this to 0, then we will get the value of x1 at which this shear force is 0. So this is 20 x1 is equals to 63. So x1 will be equal to 3.15 meters. So this is the value of x1 at which the value of shear force is 0. So we came to know that this distance is 3.15 meters. Now at this point, if we will calculate the bending moment should have the maximum value. Now let's calculate the bending moment. Let's draw the bending moment diagram for this case. Now as you can see that for the region AB, we have this equation which is a quadratic equation. You can see that this is 63x minus 10x1 square. This should be basically x1. So this is a quadratic equation, and quadratic equation represents the parabolic curve. We know that. And if we will want to know that what is the value of bending moment diagram at a point, we have to put the value of x1 is equals to 0. If we will put the value of x1 is equals to 0, this whole equation will be 0. So if we came to know that this at a point, the bending moment which is equal to 0. And at b point, in order for us to determine the value of the bending moment, b point, we have to put the value of x1 is equals to 5. And if we will put the value of x1 is equals to 5 in this equation, we will get the value of, you can see here, this will be 63 into 5 minus 10 into 5 square. Okay, so this will be 65. The value of that will be positive 65. So this tells us at b point the bending moment equation will give us the value of 65. Okay, but at this point, which is away from the distance of 3.15 meter, we know that at this point the bending moment should be maximum. So we will also find out the value of bending moment at this point, and this we can find out by multiplying 63 by putting the value of 3.15 at this point. This will be 63 multiplied by 3.15 minus 10 into 3.15 square, which is giving us the value of 99.22. So at this point, the value of bending moment is 99.22. So how we are going to connect these 2 points? Now, because this is a quadratic equation and you can see this is having the negative sign of x1, so the curve should look like this. Okay, because this is a negative curve, this should look like this. So curve will be like this. This is a 2-degree curve, and this will have the maximum point at 3.15 from this left corner. After that, after B to C, we have a linear equation. You can see minus 37x2 plus 250. This is a linear equation. So from B to C, we have to draw a linear line. We have to draw a straight line. And in this equation, if we will put the value of x2 is equals to 5 meter, so this will again give us the value of 65. So this means that curve is continuous. And then if we will put the value of x2 is equals to 10, so this gave us the value of minus 120. So at C point, the value of bending moment should be minus 120. And these both are to be connected by a straight line. because this is a straight line equation and this is a negative slope because the value of x2 is negative, you can see here. And after that we have to find out the value of bending moment at D point, and this we can find out from this equation, which is again a linear equation, which is 30x3 minus 420. And mind it that this distance is also from the left side, so if we will put the value of 10 in this equation, we will get the value of bending moment at C. If we will put the value of 10, again the value is 1 minus 120, so this curve is again continuous. But if we will put the value of x3 is equals to 14, the answer is 0. So this means at D point the bending moment is 0. Now we have to connect these 2 points by a straight line like this, and this is positive slope because this x3 is positive. So this is our bending moment diagram. Alright, now let's draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for the same case when we are doing this graphically, which we have already studied. Now in order to do that, we have to recall all the relationships which we have studied so far, and we know from those relationships that whenever there will be a point load or concentrated load, there will be a sudden shift in the shear force diagram. And at a point, because we have a point load, so there will be a sudden shift, positive shift of 63 kilonewtons. Okay, so at this point from 0 to 63 there will be a sudden shift, and after A to B, because there is a uniformly distributed load, and we know that the change in the shear force diagram between 2 points is represented by area under the curve of the uniformly distributed load. So from A to B, the area under the curve of uniformly distributed load is 20 multiplied by 5, which is 100. So from A to B there should be a change of negative 100 from this A to B point. At A point initially we have the value of plus 63. If we will subtract the value of 100 from plus 63, we will get the value of minus 37. So this means that at B point the value of shear force should be minus 37. And we also know that because the shear force diagram is the integration of the load diagram, and load diagram is constant, so this should be having the x power 1, and if it will have the x power 1, so it will be a linear equation. So this is to be connected by a straight line like this. And after this B to C, because there is no any change in the loading condition, there is no any load, so this 37 shear force will be continued to this C point. But at C point, because we have a concentrated force of 67 kilonewton, so there should be a sudden change of 67 kilonewton at C point. So if the initial value is minus 37, we will add 67 in that, so this yields the value of plus 30. So we came to know that at this point the value should be plus 30, and because there is no any force between C to D, so this will be continued up to D point. This will be constant and continued up to D point. And at D point, because we have again a concentrated load which is acting downward, so this will basically bring the shear force to 0. So this is our shear force diagram. Now let's draw the bending moment diagram for the same. Now because this is being 0, the shear force diagram is crossing the 0 point at this unknown location. So we need to first of all find that distance, because once we will be knowing that distance, then we will be able to draw the bending moment diagram. Now in order to find out this location, we have to apply the similar triangle method. As you know that this angle theta and this angle theta should be equal. So perpendicular upon base from this side and perpendicular upon base from this side should be equal. So this should be 63 divided by this total distances. This total distances, let's say I am saying that this distance is x, so the total distance is 5, so this distance will be x, and this will be equal to 37 divided by 5 minus x. because this total distance is 5 and this distance should be 5 minus x. Now if we will solve this, we will come to know that what is the value of x. Let's solve that. This will be 63 multiplied by 5 minus x, and this will be 37x. So this will be 63 multiplied by 5. This will be 315 minus 63x is equals to 37x. Let's move that to the right direction. This will be 317 is equals to 37x plus 63x. So this will be 63 plus 37. This is 100. So the value of x will be 315 divided by 100, and the value of x will be 3.15 meters. So this x should be 3.15 meters. All right. So we got the value of x, which is 3.15. 3.15. So this should be 3.15 meters. Now we have to find out the bending moment for this case. So for that, we know that the area under the curve of the shear force diagram represents the change of the bending moment between these 2 points. Now area under the curve of the shear force diagram of this area, of this region, is half into base into altitude, because this is a triangular section. So this will be, area will be half into base is 3.15 and altitude is 63. So if we will multiply this, if we will solve this, this will be 0.5 multiplied by 3.15 multiplied by 63. So the answer is 99.22. So at this point, the value of bending moment should be 99.22. Now from A to this point, which is at a distance of 3.15 meter, we have to connect this in a positive way. The slope will be positive, slope will be increasing, because this is a positive area. So this will be increasing slope at this point, and then after that, because this will be decreasing slope, so we have to find out, this curve will be pointing towards the downward direction, and this area will be, this will be 5 minus 3.15. so the base for this is 1 point, this is 1.85 meters. So this area is half, again half into base into altitude. So this area is up to this point B, this area is half into base, which is 1.85 into altitude, which is 37. So this is 0.5 into 1.85 into 37. The answer should be 34.225. So this means that from this distance, which is at a distance of 3.15 meter, to this B point, there should be a difference of 34.225, and this should be negative because this area is negative. So we will subtract 34.225 from 99.22. So this gave us the value of 64.995, which is equal to 65. So this is again connected by a 2-degree curve, because this is a straight line and this is the integration of that particular shear force diagram, and this should be again a 2-degree curve, which is parabolic in nature. And after this point, there is a constant shear force, you can see, and the magnitude of which is 37 multiplied by 5. The area is 185. So from this B point to C point, there should be a negative difference, because this area is negative, a negative difference of minus 185. So if we will subtract a minus 185 from the positive value of 65, so the value here should be minus 120. And these both are to be connected again by a straight line, because this is the constant, shear force diagram is constant. So this is integration, which is having 1 power more. So this is again a straight line. And after C to D, because we have the positive value of shear, and the area under the curve is 30 multiplied by 4, which is 120. So there should be a change of plus 120 from C to D. And if we will add the value of plus 120 in the existing value, this will give us the 0 bending moment at D point. And these two are again to be connected by a straight line, because this is a because this is again the constant and the integration will be the straight line. So this is our bending moment diagram which we have drawn without any equations. Now one thing is again point to be noted is this point. This is the point at which bending moment is crossing the zero value. So this is known to be the point of contra flexure. The point of contra flexure. This is known as the point of contra flexure. The point of contra flexure is a point at which the bending moment changes sign. All right. And you can also verify that from our website. You can see here is our website. This is the same loading condition which I have just solved. If we will click the solve button, and you can see that this is the shear force diagram which is the same as that we have drawn, and this is the bending moment diagram which is also the same which we have drawn. So I hope you have enjoyed this lecture. अपना बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल रखिएगा, मिलते हैं अगले लेक्चर में। अल्लाह हाफिज़।